Good evening. Welcome to the live 24-hour. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was yesterday.
Do another one. Come on.
That was yesterday. 24 more hours. I'm overtired. Kuva, Alex, welcome. Mr. Box Office is here. Kuva99 is here. Guys, I signed off from the 24-hour live stream earlier with a flippant sentence, which turned out to be kind of like SAVVA. I said, thank you, Spurs, for ruining our weekend again. 3 hours later, we have lost to Wolverhampton Wanderers. Guys, is anyone upset by this? Or welcome to everyone in the chat, by the way. Guys, are we at the stage where we're upset by this? Or are we now literally, we're so comfortable that this is how Spurs operate now that it's like, oh, we've lost again? Where Kuva, let me come to you first before Alex makes me dig a hole for myself or something.
No, I really enjoyed today. I just prepared for the match, went to the fridge, got a bit of butter out, put it in a pan, bit of cracked black pepper, sizzled up a nice couple of steaks, poured myself a few nice drinks, nice steak sandwich, settled down. I had the passion fruit and raspberry cheesecake waiting for afterwards.
Good.
Settled down with Spurs on, didn't turn it on, and watched Avatar 2, and it was lovely.
Excellent. So let me let you know then that Spurs have played today and lost 1-0.
I couldn't give a shit, mate. I've enjoyed myself. My weekend isn't ruined. I genuinely recommend this now for people. If you've not got that gut feeling that here we go again, just don't bother watching. It's much nicer. Yeah. Go to Sky Sports, watch 3 minutes of highlights, and then watch somebody moan about how shit the game was on a YouTube channel later. You've got the whole Spurs experience without having to go through it. My method, it's like having the injection against flu. 3 minutes on watching highlights on Sky Sports, and you don't have to go through the whole flu process. Yeah. And having flu is pretty similar to watching Spurs, isn't it? Long-term misery that doesn't seem to end.
Do you know what? It really is. And look, I literally forced myself to stay awake to watch the Spurs game. I was like in and out of sleep for the Man City Newcastle game. Literally, I woke up, it was 1-0, went back to sleep, woke up, David Silva was scoring. And I was like, right, come on, you've got to watch Spurs. I watched Spurs. Wasn't the worst first half I've seen, if I'm completely honest. I thought it was a lot more intense than a lot more intensity than what we've seen recently. But then just typical Spurs, Alex. Look, for all the talk about how bad we are at the back, for me, I'm more concerned, I'll be honest, at the moment. How are we not getting the best out of Kane, Son and Kulusevski? What has happened to our lethal attacking threat that we saw at the second half of last season and the start of this season? Where's it gone?
I just think the players are just down in tools at the moment. If I'm really honest, I don't feel that they are putting in what they need to put in at the moment. I think the manager's making bad mistakes as well, and you know, it's ironic we're talking about the football side because I was on the football terrace. That I have to address something. I have to address this. Sorry, SAVVA, but it's going to be addressed because somebody's just mentioned it already. Because I'm in the mud. I was told, yeah. Well, I wasn't in the mud. I came on the football terrace, and by the way, I've sorted it out with Terry because I had a phone call with him, and I told him why I went off. By the way, yeah, and he spoke to me about it's my fault because I go to the games, and I haven't got a season ticket, by the way. I actually buy my ticket, by the way, yeah. It's my fault that I'm paying Daniel Levy. Well, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not. Daniel Levy is not. It's not Daniel Levy's fault that we lost the cup final. It's not Daniel Levy's fault that we lost the Conference League last year when we bottled it against the Farmers League. It wasn't Daniel Levy's fault that we lost against Middlesbrough last year, and it's not Daniel Levy's fault that we've got a bunch of losers in our team at the moment, and we've got the manager that made no difference at all. Well, it is his fault anyway because he made the decision anyway. So yes, it is his fault. Yes. But it's not my fault. You know what I mean? Because all I am is Mr. Box Office. And you need to respect my name and you need to get to know my name. And that's it. Because the intellectual talent that is Mr. Box Office, the main event, the Professor of Entertainment and Truth, makes everyone look good. And that's it. But unfortunately, the players don't do. And that's it. And if you don't know, get to know that. And that's it. And that's to Tosso comment, and that's it. And respect my name, and that's it. And I'm back to you, SAVVA, and that's it. I'm done.
Bang on. Well said, Alex. So back to me. Kuva, it's back to me. So I'm going to come back to you. We're all coming back to each other. Kuva, the team today, Porro kept his place at right wing back. Kane and Kulusevski came back in, obviously, as expected. Sonny took his place back in the Premier League. Skip came back. Davis dropped into the back three alongside Longley and Romero. So Sanchez and Dyer weren't playing. Sanchez and Dyer, the two players I'm told are the reason why we keep losing games. They had nothing to do with today's game. We lost again. Redundant question, but did he make the right team selection? I don't even know what that means anymore, if I'm completely honest, but look, I don't even know what I'm asking. I'm literally that frustrated with everything at Tottenham. I don't even know what I'm asking. Did he make the right team selection, Kuva?
Who gives a shit? Avatar 2. I mean, the plot, it's not great, but it's all about the visuals on there and enjoying the experience sort of thing. So I'd suggest get it in as high definition as you can. Nice big screen, some comfort food, put your feet up. It's a really nice experience. Just like you don't have to worry about the end. If it all goes to pot, it doesn't matter. It's just a movie, isn't it? I thought it was great. Oh no, football, wasn't it? Football.
Kuva, are you still Conte in? Hoiberg wants to know.
When was I ever Conte in?
I don't know. I think you've got the wrong stream.
I can't stand him. Never wanted him. Yeah, Mourinho, Nuno, Conte, never wanted any of those. I can't stand any manager that chooses to play in a defensive way. I prefer to ship a few goals and just go hell for leather, pepper in the opponent's goal. It's all about the attacking game. I want spectacle. I want something I can get behind. I want to enjoy my football. I'm a fan of the Bales of the world, the Ginolas. I'm not a Højbjerg fan. I'm not a defensive minded. Oh, let's cheer them all because we've got a clean sheet. Let's cheer Hugo because he kept a clean sheet. I don't buy into any of that bollocks. I cheer goals. I cheer excitement, big moments in games, winning things eventually. But I'm not settling for anything less than that. So unless we're winning a trophy, you've got absolutely no argument whatsoever for having Conte. And if you're not winning a trophy, the very minimum you've got to do is play something worth watching. We don't do that. Hence, I didn't even bother watching today. Good move by me, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Look, for me, where I want to start with this is, Alex, it wasn't a terrible first half. I actually thought we were on top. I thought that we were stretching the game. Son, Kane and Kulu looked lively without ever looking like they're going to score, but we looked lively. we were making Kilman and Craig Dawson work hard. We made them work very hard. And I thought those two, by the way, were excellent. I thought they were excellent, those two centre-halves. We get to the second half, and our substitutions, Alex, were Kulusevski off in the 77th minute for Lucas Moura, right? Who we'll come to him in a minute, but now seems to be back in favour and has jumped over Richarlison and Dan Juma in the pecking order. We'll come to that in a minute. 4 minutes later, he takes off an attacking wing-back in Porro for a defensive wing-back, Emerson Royale. That was in the 81st minute. In the 82nd minute, Adama Traore scored. And then in the 85th minute, we took off a centre-half in the 85th minute and put on Richarlison. Alex, these substitutions, how worried are you about what we are actually doing substitution-wise at this football club?
I think it summed it up with the Wolves substitutions. That was proactive, very proactive, because you saw that we were right in the game against in the first half. You know what I mean? Very much in the game. We hit the bar twice, I think it was, and Son should have scored as well. He got in, didn't he? And we were pressing to a degree, I would say, and we were passing it really well, rather well, I would say. It was flowing as well, but we lost it in the second half. And while Wolves made the change, I think that affected the game. We waited. They did their substitutions really early to really be proactive. We didn't, and I was sitting there thinking,
"Yeah, Alex, just to back you up, they made 2 substitutions at half time, and then they made 2 further substitutions on the 67th minute. So by the time we made our first substitution, they had 4 pairs of fresh legs on the pitch."
Well, yeah, that's the point. And this is the thing. It's just like, there was just lots of proactiveness from the Wolves manager. And for me, it was just confusing, the substitutions for me. It's like there wasn't any attacking intent. You know what I mean? Firstly, why the hell is Moira going on the pitch for? Dan Juma just must be a waste of absolute time. You know what I mean? When he had the choice to go Everton, he must have just thought, you know what, I might as well just go to Everton. You know what I mean? At least I'll get game time. But I'm just looking embarrassing at the moment because I'm not even getting a chance against a guy that's going to leave at the end of the season. And he's already said it already. The club have already said it already. You know what I mean? Emerson, I'm sorry. He's not that great. I'm sorry. And one person said on the stream yesterday, "Oh, you've got an agenda." Well, how have I got an agenda when the guy can't even cross? You know what I mean? People have a go at Porro. People have a go at Porro, but at least he has a little bit more of intent. He hit the post from a free kick. You know what I mean? Yes, he's not great at the moment. He's not great, and the pressure's been put on him because of the overhype to get him in already. So that was a problem in the first instance. But I was more pleased with him because at least he's shown a little bit more intent, trying to get past his man, trying to give a problem to the Wolves team. And that's what I like. I like attacking intent. You know what I mean? That's it. But it was just an average performance, though. Absolutely average performance, and that's it. And that's all I need to say, and that's it.
Yeah,
I think at some point there must have been a really awkward conversation with Dan Juma when somebody realised, shit, we can't send you out on loan. We're already tapped out.
Yeah, we've taken you on loan. We can't send you out on loan. Yeah. I mean, Kuva, on that point, it feels so strange. Like, so we rock up to Sheffield United. Let's be fair, right? Listen, I'm not going to sit here and champion Dan Juma as the best winger I've ever seen in my life. But you've brought him in, not you, the Royal, you've brought him in. January, you've brought him on loan. You've gazumped another club. Yeah, that it's not like we stole him from them because we were worried what they might do. They're in a relegation battle. He comes on in his first game within about 10 minutes, scores against Preston. Since then, I think we've seen him have, 2 10-minute cameos. You go to Sheffield United and you're thinking, go on, give the guy a run out. Doesn't play him there. Lucas Moura gets a start, who we haven't seen for ages and is leaving. Then you get to today, the normal front three go in, fair enough. and your first substitution, Lucas Moura's back in favour. So, Kuva, we've bought Richarlison for 60 million. Juma on loan.
There's a plan, mate. There's an obvious plan. Soon as we've signed Porro, have we got him on permanent yet, or is he on loan at the moment? I've forgotten.
Juma's on loan with an option to buy.
Yeah, of course. So we'll take up the option to buy at the end of the season.
Yeah.
We'll go to Sevilla and say, have you got any 12-year-old kids on your books with rickets? We'll take them for Juma plus 30 million and then loan you your kid back again as well. Because that's a cool move for us. It's just bollocks. Alex is saying you can't blame the manager for these results and everything. You can't blame the chairman for these results and everything. But I mean, if you stick to it, and Sean always makes this point, if you're going to blame Levy for one thing, for anything, then you've got to all the bad things. You've got to also accept that he's done all the good things. I do. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm always at the end of the day. This is the manager of the restaurant, isn't it? Everything shit that's going on there, he's ultimately the one you look at. When it's on on a 23-year case study of the club, he is the one always at the top. So yeah, Levy doesn't pick the team there, and he doesn't make those halftime speeches to the players, and he doesn't sort of get them in the right frame of mind to win the matches. But he oversees it all. So blame who you like at the moment. If nothing changes, I mean that's why I've given up on it. I don't even expect us to win a trophy in my lifetime now. It's not.
That's a great point, Kuva, right? In our fan base at the moment, it's the blame game, isn't it? Some blame Conte, some blame Levy, some blame Lewis, some blame Paratici. It doesn't matter who we blame. Nothing's changing, right? Yeah. For me, I like to give a nice big fat slice of that pie of blame to everyone. For me, I listen, I think the owners are absolutely rotten from top to bottom. I think the manager is. I don't know if this guy is down tools. I don't know if what he does only works with top players, i.e., these poor substitutions, etc. But it's not working.
For me, forget the manager. The person that's most instrumental at the downfall of the football inside of this club at the moment is Paratici. He's the one that decides on. He's the one picking out the managers. He's the one picking out the players as well. All of his interaction is going to be with Levy, and Levy is just going to say, "There's the money that I'm prepared to pay. Work with that." So he's got a difficult job. Let's face it. But I'm not impressed with anything he's done. We've got this. The very, very fact we go from Pochettino down to Mourinho, then Nuno, then Conte. This is not a style of football I associate with my football club.
And Nuno was definitely strategy, by the way. It was definitely strategy, because this. Alistair Gold said it already. Yeah, right. We wanted attacking managers. As soon as strategy came in, it changed to Conte. Fonseca. There was other managers as well that were pragmatic as well. So this is all on him.
Who'd have thought of it? A pragmatic Italian director of football hiring pragmatic managers.
Exactly.
Never saw that coming, did we?
Nuno was never in the picture. Picture before he came in. Never in the picture at all. Yeah. And that's it. And that's all I need to say. And that's it, really. You know what I mean? It's just. I'm just sick. Listen, I know Levy's bad. He's good. He's good in what he is. We all recognise that, but he's bad as well. You know what I mean? But the only thing I don't like is then when you're pushing the narrative on fans. You know what I mean? Because that's when people are just like saying, "I'm going to be like SAVVA. I'm having enough of this because I don't get paid to do that." You know what I mean? I was at a protest. You know what I mean? And I need to make this absolutely clear. This is not having to go at Brian or Danny. This is, or any of those people, yeah? Especially Brian, because Brian will never ever dig me out. Never dig me out. And he is leaving out, you know what he's like.
Not
and
to your
Danny
face.
as well.
He sends me WhatsApps about you every day.
I know. But like I said, I'm not having to dig at those, because those people, they're respectful, even though Danny's deluded. But still, it's still, I still love him, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's all I need to say, and that's it. Sorry, SAVVA. Sorry.
No, guys, I was just going to read this out. Look, I think what I'm getting frustrated at is I'm so frustrated that every time we win a game, there's videos that go out trying to put YouTubers like me and other YouTubers in the mud, apparently, because we don't like the football. Then when we lose, it's, oh my God, all of a sudden it's not the manager and he's not put anyone in the mud, it's the owners. I think we need a level of consistency as fans. And more importantly, guys, I've used this word a lot in the last few months. Consistent or lack of consistency is killing this football club. And I'm going to read out to you. This is our results, working back from today's game. Listen to these, right? Loss, loss. Win, win. Loss, loss. Win, win. Loss, loss. Win, win. Loss, draw, draw. Loss, win. Loss, loss. Win, win. Loss, loss. Win, win. You get the picture, right?
So much like there's a pattern, isn't it?
I know. I do you know what? I sat down, I messaged all my cleverest friends and said, help me work this out. Look, I've said this.
I think we're going to break the trend now, though, because we're on 2 losses at the moment, aren't we?
Yes, we've got to be 2 wins, right?
No, I think we're going to go for a 3rd loss.
We're going for a 3rd win, a 3rd loss. Look, this is what I'm saying. The inconsistency at this club. Now, the disappointing thing is this. If I look at our losses, right, we've lost to Wolves today, guys. Hadn't won in 3 games. We said this on the stream earlier. Haven't won in 3 games. Got beaten 10 days ago by Bournemouth at Wolves. Bournemouth are bottom of the table. Got beaten comfortably by Liverpool in the week. Drew with Fulham in between that. Of course, Tottenham rock up there. Someone's just said I'm not cool enough to say rock up. I am super cool. Tottenham rock up. 1-0 win, right? Then let's go to our next 2 defeats. AC Milan, who were, I'm sorry, that was a very poor AC Milan team. Leicester City, who since battering us 4-1, seem to lose to everyone else they play, right? Our 2 defeats before that, all right, I'll let them off. Man City and Arsenal. Our 2 defeats before that, Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest. It is like, what is going on?
I don't think you should let them off for the Man City and Arsenal losses. They were bloody awful.
No, but listen, when I say let off, I mean, if I look at teams better than us, I can say, okay, you might lose that game. But when I look at Forest, Villa, Leicester, Milan, Sheffield United, Wolves, 6 games lost in the last 12, right? He's lost 9 games in 26 in the league this year.
I think it's not just that, though. It's not just that, SAVVA, though. It's the cup losses. It's the cup losses that really that's where my concern is. You know what I mean? Because those are competitions where when people say like Kane, Son, Højbjerg, Kulusevski was in some of them and Bentancur was in some of them. If you can't achieve getting through those games against teams that we should be beating, by the way, because we beat them in the league and we do we do a good job against them to get the result. Why can you not do it in a cup game? You know what I mean? And it's not because of injuries, because we turn up in top games in certain games as well. You know what I mean? And this is where the excuses do come in too much. You know what I mean? And I couldn't forgive them for the Conference League last year, but the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup was a absolutely brilliant opportunity for us to win something this season. Because you look at the teams that Manchester United won it, and maybe you could have lost there. But when you look at the FA Cup right now, looking at it very hard nosed, we should be at least going to the final of that cup. Because look at who Sheffield United have got in the quarterfinals. Sheffield United and Blackburn. Absolutely fantastic opportunity. And I'm sorry, it gets to a point where the club priorities, and we can go on about the owners now as well. Yes, you can say because you know what their target is. Yes, but the whole club's priorities are completely wrong, and the players' priorities are wrong as well.
Even if we look at priorities, right? Let's be fair. Let's break this down, right? I was told by everyone in the week, we've all been told, by the way, that we rotated that team midweek because we were more worried about winning this league game. We then put all our best players out, the best players we've got available, into this game. We take Dyer and Sanchez out, who I've been told are to blame for every other defeat we ever have, right? We still lose against a team that haven't won in 3, have scored 9, thank you, Perchie, Mr. Statman, has scored 9 goals at home before today. Adama Traore scores like 1 goal every 3 seasons, right? He pops in today, scores a goal against us, right? We can't score against Sheffield United's back 3. We can't score against Wolves' back 4, right? At some point, I get it, the owners are terrible, but at some point, this manager now, is getting away with results that no other manager has got away with. These are awful results now. 9 out of 26 in the league we've lost, and we are 19 points away, right, from the bottom and 18 points away from top, right? That's with the team top of the league a game in hand. We could be further away from the top. Further away from the top than we are the bottom after Arsenal win their game in hand, right? That is embarrassing. But yet, Conte, I'm sorry, this guy, he's got to go. This is terrible.
Come on, you just got to, like they did down the road, just believe in the process.
That's
you know, anybody got a process? We haven't.
Can we borrow it?
Yeah. It is actually good. It's a good template for what we should be doing, though, isn't it? As much as we don't like to say it, it is have that plan over many years. Start getting in the players to fit that plan and stick with it. If you see that, if you know what the manager's going to bring you, this isn't the manager to be doing that with, by the way.
It's not.
We know what Conte is. Like, let's face it. He is a manager you bring in when you've got a good squad already and you want to push them on to win the league. We have not got a good squad. We've got
I still can't. You know what? I do apologise.
No. Go on.
You're the man, Bob. Yeah, but I have to say, I
Who
just
knows
can't
his
believe.
place? He knows your box office. He'll take a back seat.
That's right.
I know. I respect you, though, Bob. My point is, yeah, can't believe though that people are still hanging on to the fact that they think Conte's going to stay. I just don't understand it. I know. I think it's more to do with. Well, I'm not going to say it because I'm done with that now. But my point is that I'm just, you can see that it's just not going to work. I would have more respect for Conte if he walks now. I have more respect for him because at the moment he's done it before.
Sailed, Alex. That ship has sailed.
I know. I wish.
Look, it's the 3rd of. No, it's not. It's what day are we on? It's the 4th of March. Right. Let's be fair. When does the season end? Mid-May.
Not
right?
Quick enough.
Right. Yeah, not quick enough. But like we're looking at 10, 11 weeks. Let's be really honest. If he was going to walk, it had to be the summer. And I said for ages, I think Cougar did as well. I would respect this man. I would build a statue of this man, right, with my own money outside the Spurs stadium. If in the summer he had gone, I have not been backed. This is not what I'm here for. See you later. But he didn't. He stayed. Again, since then, we've had all the cryptic interviews, all the cryptic messages. I know he's not been well, but that, for me, I'm starting to, all those little theories that go around, I'm starting to feel that this is very convenient now, that he's not there whilst all this is going on. I
don't believe that one. I think he'll be back. He's not a coward. He will he'll live and die by his own sword, I think.
I got sent this, Kuva. I got sent this, right? Tell me what you think. Someone said to me this: Tottenham Hotspur this weekend. The owner on a yacht in the Bahamas. The chairman in Bahrain watching Formula One. The manager at home in Italy. The assistant resting players midweek only to lose at the weekend. The players given up. Our rivals winning the league. Enoch out, Levy out, Conte out. And I can't disagree with any of that.
I'll probably would have worded it a little bit different. Players on the beach already, maybe.
Yeah.
We used to say this about the end of season fixtures, didn't it? That's the sort of football we're playing nowadays. It doesn't really matter. Nothing's a bother. I think over the last 4 or 5 years, what I've been most alarmed about is well, not 4 or 5 years, but the last 3 years certainly, is the way we transformed the team. Remember how we used to be totally reliant on Harry Kane and Heung-min Son? We've slowly developed that. Now we're just totally reliant on Harry Kane. If he doesn't score, nobody's going to.
We've evolved.
Yeah,
we've evolved from
that's
two.
We're instead of a 2-man team, we're a 1-man team. But I mean, I know Alex has been saying this for ages. We are basically the Harry Kane team. Pep said it, and he was so right. He corrected himself, but he didn't need to. He was exactly right in summing us up.
I stick by that.
Just quickly, Alex, this sums it up. Reload is he's bang on the money. How can we expect to beat Wolves without Mbappe, Modric, and Maldini? You know, it's not. You know, how can we? I mean, Bournemouth went there and did it 10 days ago. Big up Reload XXX. I know you're being facetious, guys.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's Conte is a one-trick pony, isn't he? If you are up there with that kind of squad, he will do very well for you. Win the league, but we're not. We need a different kind of manager for what we've got. We need to have somebody that's capable of wading through bullshit and picking out a few diamonds in it. That's not Conte. He's never going to get anywhere at this club. We know this.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you go on.
No. It's all right.
I do feel though that you can't blame Conte for coming when you got a load that you offered the salary that you've been offered. You know what I mean? And the money that you've offered to manage Tottenham. But I think the problem is that our problem is that we're not listening to him when he's the winner, and you know he's trying to do it our way when really we should be listening to him. You know what I mean? And that's what he's saying at the moment, and that's why he's just managers like that are going to be always stubborn. You know what I mean? Because they've won the way they've won, so then sitting there thinking, "Oh, sorry, mate, but you're asking for my service, by the way, who's won loads of trophies. So why am I listening to you?" You know what I mean? You know, and that's it, really.
Just like we said earlier with this, the difficulty with this was always going to be, like what we talked about on the stream earlier at some point in the 24 hours anyway, the players Conte wants, I don't believe are achievable for Tottenham Hotspur. And that, for me, was always going to be the disparity between bringing in a winner like Conte versus the attraction of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. So, for example, if, as Danny said to us, right, if this is true, Danny's turned around and said to us that the players that he knows we wanted in the summer were Lautaro Martinez, Bastoni, Vardial, and in the January window was Undercar, right? If you break those four down, Lautaro Martinez, Inter Milan are going to go, yeah, we want 80 million for him. First of all, we're never going to spend 80 million on a striker when, like, Lautaro Martinez isn't an idiot. He's going to go, well, hang on, Conte, if I come, am I playing up front with Harry Kane or am I sitting on the bench behind Harry Kane, right? Second, and B, if Lautaro Martinez is available, we're not going to be the only club in Europe that try and buy him because there's a shortage of strikers, right? Plus, he's going to want 400k. We'll get blown out the water. Apply the exact same logic to Vardial. The moment that guy goes on the market, Madrid, Munich, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, City are all going to go, how much? There's 90 million. There's 500 grand a week. Spurs will just be in the background offering, 20 Benson Hedges and 5 million or something. I don't know, right? Undercar, what Danny said, turned us down because he wants to wait for a bigger club when his contract ends. And the rumours are that it's between Arsenal and Barcelona, right? And Bastoni didn't want to leave Inter Milan. So when we say just back Conte, this is the difficult problem because we have to shop in that level there. And Conte wants this level here. Never going to work. Never going to be a match.
Yeah, you see, this is the problem. I mean, we were talking about elite level signing. Well, do this. It's always good to do the hand levels when making points, isn't it? So we were looking at elite level players like that. And we thought, it's not going to work at us. We're going to be going at that level. I fell into that trap. I realised now, no, we're down at this level somewhere. We're not even signing good players. We're signing players that
if I had a plan,
sort of basement level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bargain bucket of the way out of the shop sort of thing. It's lastminute.com. Juventus, have you got any players you don't want for a moment? Because I couldn't find anything. That's out the window in the summer, isn't it? Not unless Levy goes over there, because Paratici isn't, is he? That's a useful one as well. Your director of football banned from trading in the only market he really knows. That's going to be brilliant in the summer. I can't wait for the transfers coming in.
Because Kuba, he's cooking, isn't he? He's cooking.
He is cooking
really well, wasn't it, Bob?
Meanwhile, we could be doing some genuinely good free transfers of the window, last window, but didn't do it in key positions. Have a look at Wolves today. There was a player in there that I mentioned in the summer, and like people going, "Oh, don't be ridiculous. He's crap." He isn't. Dawson, centre back, established player. He's rock solid, proper defender,
old school defender. Yep.
He's way ahead of bloody Dyer and Sanchez and Davis. It's that's something you can actually build around. We don't go for anything like that because too snobbish. Think we're too big for those sort of players now, but don't realise we can't actually compete with the big boys when it comes to going for world class players. Who's the last really great player we've signed? Absolutely great player.
Oh, Klinsmann.
And it's not Kulu or Bentancur, by the way. No,
they've been good. They've been good, haven't they? But they were sort of promising players. Yeah. Same with Romero. He's not the finished product, but he look good. It's one for the future. That's the sort of signing I don't mind us doing. It makes sense. Same with Bentancur and Kulusevski.
But he knew about them, though. He knew about them, though.
But let's be serious. That's probably the level we should be aiming at, because we've got so many players that are substandard. At least that would bring it up to a decent level. Let's get someone on the same sort of playing field as Brighton, but at a slightly higher level.
But Kuva,
let's face it, that's where we should be.
But Kuva, we got lucky to get those signings in the first place. You know what I mean? I don't think it was just a last minute thing. Yeah, he knew about it for quite a while. And to his credit, he does things fast. He does do things fast. We already know how Daniel Levy does his business. We all know. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not going to go into that. But unfortunately, he only done his bit. He knew about these players already because he came from his old club. You know what I mean? And like Perisic, he knew about him already. You know what I'm looking at, by the way, it's excuses when you've got a good recruitment system at Leicester City. I know Leicester City are not doing well at the moment, but they do find some gems. And Brighton, and the way that they've looked at their manager, that's where I'm looking at and sitting there thinking, well, they've only been in the Premier League for so long, and they know how to do it.
Add Brentford to that list of teams as well.
Yeah, Brentford as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not
and people will say, well, look at where they are in the league. Yeah, I do look at where they are in the league on their budget, and then look at the budget we have or should have, and you just apply that. We should be at a higher level doing this sort of thing. We should be getting the players on a level above what they're recruiting. Same sort of principle, though. You get what you need. You don't go for speculative punts on people you're going to sit on the bench or put out on loan.
We've been chasing success, Kuva. We've been chasing success.
Absolutely.
And that's been the problem for a long time.
Yeah, success on a shoestring as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's either the wild, overpriced punt on the likes of Richarlison or Ndombele or Lo Celso, or it's absolute rubbish like Jack Clark that does absolutely nothing for the club whatsoever. Brian Hill as well. How much wasted on him? I mean, people will say, "Oh, Hill, Messi, and everything." Where is he now? He's not wanted.
In Spain, not wanted.
The funny thing is, guys, right? Like, I mean, I watched the Leicester Southampton game, and I was watching like that Bella Kotchap, and I looked at him and straight away went, "Yeah, you're going to be a top player. Like, you're going to be a really good. Like, I'm not saying he's not a good centre half now, but you're going to be a really good centre half." And then I look at every centre half we've bought, other than Romero, who even today, I'm watching Romero so many times. He steps up with the ball, gets caught with it. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying, right? You look, who are the last centre backs we bought into this club would be Roden, Longley, Sanchez. Who's scouting these players? How are clubs?
Longley's going as well, isn't he? He was only on loan.
Yeah.
Or even having to replace the players that were loaned out to replace the others.
No, knowing us, we'll buy Longley. That's such a Spursy move that we will buy him.
Can I ask a question? Yeah.
Yep.
If you're a good recruitment team, yeah, you look at Romero and think of him, look at his skills and look at his negatives as well, and you look at his negatives and you think, okay, so what player can complement Romero? Because he's your starting right back, starting centre back, yeah, right. So you look at it and think, okay, who is going to be a good complement to Romero? Who's going to be that leader to try and help him out and work well with him? That calm presence, because what I will say is, and this is where I give credit to Henry Wright, by the way, because he does think some good things, by the way. He said it absolutely perfectly. Yes, Romero's a fantastic centre-back, but he needs someone to rein him in, just to rein him in. You know what I mean? And that would be a great partnership, like Vertonghen and Alderweireld, like Dawson and Ledley King, and like the good centre backs that you see in the Premier League at the moment. That is your base. You know what I mean? And I just think there's so many players that are just too similar at the moment. You know what I mean? From different eras and stuff like that. And it's just not. There's no looking at the makeup of the side and trying to complement the players that you've got already. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, we need this, we need that, we need this, and need this, and then put it together and see if it works, and let the manager just do what they need to do, and that's it. And it just looks an absolute mix up of nothing, and that's it really for me. Then you've got Harry Kane, who's making us look good, and the only shining light that is making Tottenham fans feel like, yes, we can achieve what we can achieve. Well, that light's going to be shut off straight away when he goes, isn't it? And that's it. Back to you, Kuba.
Cheers, Alex. Yeah, you just park it.
Oh, it's Kuba.
Yeah, we got this, mate. Take the night off. Yeah, I think you're right. You're right about Romero. You've got to look at his what his deficiencies, if you like, or the risk factor involved with the way he plays. But big up, Ben. But I don't look at it as somebody that needs to rein him in. I look at it as somebody that needs to have the intelligence to understand what he does, what his role is, and be prepared to compensate for it. Just imagine Romero on the right of a back three, if we're going to play it, with a prime Alderweireld and Toby alongside him on the left. Yeah. It would work because Toby would be gliding forward, with Jan Vertonghen, on the left. And Jan would be gliding forward up the pitch with the ball because he loves doing that. He's competent. He's a footballer. Toby's got the intelligence to cover Romero, making the not rash decisions, but the really aggressive, forward-minded ones. It would work magnificently. Trouble is, we got Dobbin Ed Dyer doing his disco shit, and we got Ben Davis, who's about as fast as I am when I'm pissed and lying on the floor in the kitchen at 4 a.m. We're just so far off having the players to fit this system. I know we're talking about, we should do better with the players we've got. I agree, but we've got to also accept we do have a management system that is absolutely dead set on playing three at the back. There's no escaping it. So it's a question of what do we look at? Ways to fix that, because the system isn't going to be changed. Let's admit it now. There is no way Conte's dropping it.
When Conte goes, Paratici's going to hire a manager that still plays this system.
Well, it's going to be something similar, isn't it? It's going to be something pragmatic, isn't it, with a defensively minded midfield.
So what are the rules in terms of me transferring to support another club? Is it if I go down a league, it's okay?
Leighton Orient for you, boy.
A better team.
Leighton Orient for you.
I've always had a soft spot for Fulham, to be honest, but it feels a bit traitorish going to another Prem team, doesn't it?
Look, I've got Dartford and Bromley in the conference. They're just down the road. Go there, no VAR. You can give the goalkeeper loads of shit. He'll have some banter back with you. I'll stick with that.
And I've always enjoyed a day out at Barnet.
Oh, yeah, Underhill. Yeah. I went there a few times.
It was great seeing so many of our ex-players going there as well. Like when Edgar David was there, it was brilliant fun.
Yeah. I'm going to come to you, Ben, just quickly before I do. I've got a few super chats. There are 336 of you in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Thought you might be bored of me after the 24-hour marathon, but apparently not. By the way, when people put in the chat that I've missed their super chats, YouTubers don't miss your super chats. We put them in a little bucket where we can read them all out together. A little bucket. Azad says, SAVVA, I want him gone. The guy is a coward. Conte out. Big up Azad. We'll discuss this in a minute. Phil P has said, this still going to the earthquake appeal. Phil, you're just trying to win that very last very last donation, aren't you, mate?
I won that one.
No, you didn't, Kuba.
Yeah, I did.
I won it.
Yes, I did.
I was the adjudicator, and you and Shawnee lost.
I was the adjudicator. Look at that.
You look at the last one on the last stream. Mine is the last super chat. So there
the stream was off.
I can tell you right now who was the last one. Let me go to the stream.
It was Carl. It was Carl Higgins.
It was. Well, that's going to take too long. That's not fun for anyone. A user said, hey, SAVVA, we will never get the players we want while Levy is here. Gap between us and the other teams will only increase. We make any team look good. I can't disagree with that. And Rooksy Pop has said, Schalke defenders could start for Spurs, LMAO. Thank you for all your super chats. Just before I go to Ben, shameless plug. Guys and girls, I set myself a target for the year, which was 2,500 subscribers for my first birthday on April the 13th. We are 40 days away from that date, and we are currently sitting on 3,478. If we can get 22 more subscribers, we'll get 3.5K and smash the yearly target. Please, please, please subscribe. I'm not begging, but I am begging. Please. Yeah. Ben Kaufman, you, sir, you went to Wolverhampton Wanderers, didn't you?
No, not Wolves. I didn't go to Wolves. Thank God.
You went today?
No, I didn't go. I went to Sheffield, so I went to the even worse one.
I thought Nick said he was en route to pick you up. No.
No. I was here ripping what was left of my bloody hair out after the Sheffield game, and we stayed here. So luckily, I didn't go. But I didn't
look, did you watch the game today?
I couldn't watch it. Couldn't find one of those streamy thingies. I couldn't find one. So unfortunately, I didn't.
I'm pleased for you.
And what I decided to do is I decided to restring a guitar because that was far less painful.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ben, look, I get it, right? At the moment, it does feel, doesn't it, that our fan base is super fragmented. Yeah. And for me, I kind of feel like everyone's got their own gripe and everyone's right in their own way, right? I don't think this can be pointed at. This is the one thing that's wrong. It feels like we've got the academy wrong, the scouting wrong, the director of football, even the manager wrong. It feels like we've given the wrong contracts to extensions to players. Is there a solution to this, Ben, that is realistic, or are we just going to keep plodding along like this, hoping that Harry Kane saves us year after year after year?
Unfortunately, the only way to fix this is a total reset from manager to that is the only way you're going to fix this, because the chairman's not going to go, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, I agree.
He is the main problem, because he is the guy that is employing people that are doing shit jobs, and he is the impetus of a scattergun approach. Every single time he thinks there's a little bit of a problem, he completely and utterly changes direction. It's like almost like 1990s Vince McMahon. Whenever something was a bit wrong, he would just put the belt on the Undertaker. Cool. That's what he would do. That is what we are now, but except we don't have an Undertaker because the Undertaker's leaving at this rate. We have a manager that does not suit this club. We have a director of football that doesn't suit this club. And we have fans that don't want to support the team anymore because we're fed up. We're fed up of this club not winning things. And we're also fed up of no plan. There is no plan at all. There's no Manchester United, perfect example. They've now got a plan. They've gone through years and years of trying to win now.
Yes, winging it, right?
Now there's, okay, we're going to step back. We're going to bring Eric Ten Hag, who is a manager who builds a project. We're going to give him top players to build his project, and we'll see how it goes from there. And luckily for them, they've also bought quality players in as well, because he said, this is my system. Casemiro works in my system, and they're flying because of it. But what we need to do is just change. We need to remind ourselves what we want to do as a football club. Because if we want to win now, we're going to have to back Conte and Paratici, because that is what they do. They like to win now, work for 3 years, and then finish. Finished, done. My job's done. I'm going to another club. I'm going to do the same again.
Yeah.
But we've got an owner that wants to build a project, but then builds people that are good now. So one of those is going to have to go. Either it's the owner or it's the director of football and the coach. And I know which one is going because he's...
Of course.
Paratici and Conte are not bad at what they do. But when you've got a trifecta and it's not a balanced trifecta, it's not going to work. Unless everyone is on the same page, it's not going to work. And that is the problem, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've said this for ages, haven't we, guys? That look, as much as again, I haven't given up on the whole Enoch Levy out thing, but it is the last thing that goes, right? Of any business, right? When a company decides they're going to make a round of redundancies to streamline processes, the CEO is not the one that gets streamlined, is he? You know, he or she, they don't get streamlined. It's us. It's us people down in the trenches. And unfortunately, yes, I get the whole notion of, oh, well, if Conte goes, that we're just starting again. But 2 points on this, right, that I feel so many people are overlooking, Ben. This isn't like we're sitting here going, we want Conte out, right? He's got 5 years left on his contract.
Yeah.
Conte's contract ends in like 3 months. Yeah. You know, this is people sitting here talking, saying, where do we go next? What are we going to do? Is this next manager going to come in, be a Paratici puppet? We're going to play 3-4-3 again. They're going to have to play 3 centre-halves with Davinson Sanchez, Eric Dyer, Ben Davies. I just don't know. I don't know any other way it works
next manager, in my opinion, Gattuso.
Gattuso.
We nearly went for him in the summer.
No, I think Gattuso was a thing because you couldn't get Conte.
Yeah,
I think
we won't be able to get anybody, will we? It's going to be somebody like Gattuso. It's going to be an Italian manager that doesn't play very good football.
I'd personally like Gasperini. I think Gasperini is perfect for
he'd be
what we have now at the club.
Bit too attacking though, isn't he?
Nah, 5 up front. Let's go for it. 3 at the back, 5 up front. That's what I want to see.
I think ideally we need somebody that talks at press conferences like they're at a funeral, and somebody that picks the team as though they're attending a funeral.
Nuno.
Wow.
Yeah, Nuno. Let's have Nuno back.
Nuno in.
Should we just bring Nuno back and all apologise to him one by one?
50% win percentage.
We'll all send him a video saying, "We'll make you proud, Nuno. Come back.
Make me proud. Make me proud."
But realistically, guys, this is I don't get what's happening. Like, I get that we've not got the players to win anything, but we're now starting to lose to teams that we shouldn't be losing to on a weekly basis. Like, weekly basis. The 6 I read off earlier. All right, if you want to call Milan a big club, but they're not good at the moment. You've got Wolves, Sheffield United, Milan, Leicester, Villa, and Forest, all in the space of December through to the end of February. In 90 days, we've lost to those 6 clubs. I don't remember this happening recently in the last 5-10 years. I don't know if anyone else can tell me I'm wrong, but I don't remember losing to this type of team at this regularity.
It's like what Alex said, and yes, I am listening to Mr. Box Office, because if you don't know, get to know. These players only get up for big games. They don't. They're arrogant. They are the definition of arrogant. Oh, we're going to beat Sheffield United. We don't need to put a graft in. Oh, we're going to beat Wolves. They can't score in a brothel. We're going to beat them. but they don't look at themselves. Oh, fuck, Chelsea are coming in. We might actually, if we don't win this game, people are going to be on our backs. Oh shit, it's Man City. Let's make ourselves look good.
Yeah.
The moment we are looking comfortable, we just don't turn up. And that shows that these players, because again, what we've been talking about, if you look at Arsenal, 98% of those players are bought by that manager, which means they're under his ethos, they're under his banner, which means they're going to fight for that manager. Whereas we've got about 5 different sets of players in, which means the ethos doesn't match. Some of them are defensive players, some of them are attacking players, some of them are Nuno players, some of them are these players. It's not a cohesive squad. And that is the problem. Nobody's on the same page. Some people are on book 1, some people are on book 5. It's
mixed ability group.
It's a mixed ability group. So the players that are elite quality players, well, somewhat elite quality, the players that are better quality players like Harry Kane love working under Conte because they know how to do their job. The players like Ben Davis.
Hang on, Ben. I want to challenge that. I'm going to challenge this, right? Healthy debate. In Conte's second season at Chelsea, all the Chelsea fans said he simply couldn't get the best out of Eden Hazard in the second year the way he did the first year. And in the first year, people credited them winning the league to Eden Hazard, right? Year 2 at Tottenham Hotspur, the same is happening with Kulu and Son. Both of them look really poor. And even Kane's scoring goals. We all know Kane is going to score goals. But if we can look past that, his actual all-round game is nowhere near what it was last year, where he was dropping deep, linking up, playing through balls, getting that level of assists. I'm starting to wonder, Ben, if those top players are starting to get a bit bored of this.
Oh, Conte's the entertainment vampire, isn't he? He sucked all the fun and enjoyment out of the game.
A mood hoover, I think they call it.
I mean, you brought up the point that Chelsea fans saying that it all fell off the cliff. If it all falls off the cliff, but we win a fucking FA Cup, I don't give a shit if it falls off the cliff. And that's where Chelsea fans are themselves arrogant because they want to be top of the league and playing great football, but they've never played great football, but they want to win trophies, but then get rid of a manager that won a trophy. It's it's what it is. Chelsea fans complain about everything. They're flip-flops. They are the antithesis of flip-flops.
Aren't we seeing it factually, Ben? Like if you look, right, if you've got, this is the only thing I'd say, right? I'm not expecting our defence to be brilliant and keep clean sheets every week. We don't have the players for that. I acknowledge that. I've not once ever said that I think Davis, Dyer, Sanchez, Tanganga, Rode and all these lots should be here, right? But what we do have is some very, very good, probably underplaying how good they are there, quality forwards in Kane, Son and Kulu. These three, it's almost like from that lot. Do you remember the last game of the season was it Norwich 5-0, 5-1, 5-0 at Norwich, right? Sonny got the hat trick. Kulu, I think, bent one in as well. The three of them, it's almost like they came off the pitch that day, went and had their summers, come back, and it's like they've all forgotten how to play together. There's no link up anymore. There's no swift, incisive breakaways. How is Conte not getting the most out of that front three? That's the worry for me, not so much the defence at the moment.
I think it's a mixture of things. Like I said before, last season was overhyped last season, that last part, because as I said, we only have one game a week, right? Because we lost in the Conference League and we lost the FA Cup as well. Okay. Harry Kane and Son only have one game a week to concentrate on getting top four. Okay. Yeah. No one really knew about Kulu. No one knew about Bentancur as well. This season, though, because of the effect they had last season, right? And that's a big compliment coming from someone that called them rejects, right? Now they've got people
I'm sure if they're watching this stream, they're very proud they're changing your mind, Alex.
Well, people have got their on their coattails now. You know what I mean? Because they know who to stop now. I mean, the first half today, they had somebody on Kane straight away and following from head to toe. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know, they know how to stop Tottenham. You know what I mean? And they knew that it was only going to be only a little bit when Kulu's form was going to tail off a little bit. You know what I mean? So I do feel that this was always going to come because Conte's got his way of doing things and nothing was done over the summer to complement what he needed. You know what I mean? So that's really where we at the moment, you know, because everyone was going over the top about Perisic. He said, "Oh, it's now here. He's here now." Sessegnon, "Oh yeah, he's here now. We've got some of the experience to guide him." But it hasn't worked out at all. You know what I mean? You know, and and it's just all collapsing at the end of the day. And I just think it just looks at like a team that just doesn't know their identity, and that's it. And I'm fed up of seeing it at the moment. But like I said, I know what I want. I know what I want. I think I'm saying the same thing that Kuva's saying at the moment as well. You know, because at the end of the day, we want good football. You know, because if you're not winning nothing, at least give me some good football. You know,
Absolutely.
if it's not pretty, I'm not interested. You know what I mean? Because I'm a Jamaican man. This is the box office a Jamaican man, and I know what I like. You know what I mean? I like my soca music, and that's what I do every single time, bruv. When it personally, and that's it, bruv. But if it's something else I don't like, I'm not interested, and that's it. And that's all I need to say, and that's it. And I'm back to you, Sava, the big one, yeah. And that's it. I'm done.
I've just had a message from Dan Potts, who came on yesterday, Arsenal fan. Really like Dan. He said, "Congrats on the 24-hour stream." I know where this is going. He's not just messaging me guys. Congrats on the 24-hour stream. Great show. I think we might be able to do this. You guys are shocking. It's just like, thanks for that.
I bet he didn't send that when Arsenal were 2-0 down, though, did he?
Oh God, yeah. It's look. The thing for me is this. I mean, look, let me find out, Ben. I don't really know your stance on this. I know we all want the owners to leave, but how much blame do you put on performances like this? Do we put on Conte and Stellini? Because it's happening regularly now, Ben. It's to the point where you're going into games like this thinking, oh God, they've just lost to Bournemouth. Of course we're going to lose to them. And it's happening.
You've got to put minimum 45% on it, maximum 50%. Because at the end of the day, the reason this team is crap is because we didn't get rid of players like Ben Davis. It's because we didn't think proactively. We didn't think proactively. We seem to think when we get a new manager in and suddenly all these players that we had before suddenly become brilliant. It's of course, as soon as, like what Brian said, the moment they cross that white line, it's all on the players and the manager. But the reason they get to that white line is because they are allowed to be there. And Pochettino personally wanted Davis and Dyer out, and those are the two that got him sacked. We know this through reports, and we knew those two threw him under the bus, and they're still here. They're still here. They threw Mourinho under.
Ben, how are Nottingham Forest beating us with their B team? Sheffield United with their B team. Bournemouth have gone to this Wolves team at their own ground and beat them. But we go there and we're like, oh, but it's because we didn't want Davis or Dyer or whatever. And let's be fair, from all the players we said we didn't want, how many of them played today?
Oh, all of them. They're all shit.
But no, that's not true. That's not true, is it? If we look at the lineup today, right? If we look at the lineup from all the players that take the blame, right? If you look at it, you've got Porro, Romero, Longley, Davis, Perisic. Only Davis from that is in the group that gets talked about as being under the last three managers. You've got Skip, who everyone loves Skip. Højbjerg, everyone loves Højbjerg. And then you've got Kane, Son and Kulusevski. So today for
bloody Forster.
Because there's no backup for Højbjerg. We've seen that Højbjerg, as soon as he has to play 2 games in a week, he looks lethargic, he looks slow, he's running through treacle, and he becomes utterly shit. When he's playing 1 game a week, he's absolutely brilliant. And that's because we haven't got the competition in the squad. We didn't think, let's buy a proper midfielder to challenge these boys. We bought Basuma, a player that does not fit in this system at all. And I will blame that on the ownership, because you think our manager plays 3-4-3. So we're going to buy a player that plays in a 3 in midfield in a progressively run Brighton team.
Hang on. How are we blaming? I'm sitting on the fence here, right? How are we blaming Levy and Enoch for Basuma?
Because they pay the money to get him in.
But isn't that for me? What I don't understand is this, right? Paratici and Conte work in the same building, stroke outdoor training ground, whatever, every day, right? Paratici's our director of football, and he does the deals.
I don't think he's doing 50% of them, because that's why we're signing Jed Spence, Basuma, Richarlison.
I fail to believe that Basuma was not run past Conte and Conte said...
I bet he was. He said, oh, what do you think of this player? And he probably went, yeah, he's all right. And they bought him. They probably didn't ask him the question, would you like this player for your system?
Exactly. It's never a case of going to Conte and going, who do you want? It's like, these people
like
are available. Do you want any of these?
What I will say is about Paratici. He's the one that's searching for the players, and he will get the deal to a certain point. But Daniel Levy will be looking at that deal and making
sign
the check and do it, and that's it. Because that's when I know because I know the history a little bit on this guy. You know what I mean? He's still I can't stand him. I can't stand Paratici. No. You know what I mean? And I'll leave that for me on my channel, Bob, because like I said, because Alex THSC has got a leashing to do on this guy. Because I'm sorry, he shouldn't be at our club. He should not be at our club. The fact that he tried to get Gattuso in, and I was seething when this guy was trying to get Gattuso in. It's embarrassing. That embarrassment, bruv. I can't stand him. I can't stand that guy. And I can't stand Paratici as well. Yeah? Because the fact is, all the that he is, the guy that was a chairman there at Juventus made him look good. Yeah? And all I will say is, look at the story about Ronaldo. Yeah? The signing of Ronaldo. And then you'll get a little picture of what Paratici's all about. You know what I mean? And that's all I need to say. Good on you, Ben, yeah? And I'm going to give it back to you, SAVVA.
Thank you. I always like it when you give it back to me on my own show. It's much appreciated. Big up, Barry. Someone that did go to Wolverhampton. I'll come to you in 1 second, mate. Vishal said, why are you guys so tight-lipped on Son? He looks so average and rubbish. Vishal, I don't think you support Spurs. I'm not sure. But if you do, you would know that I get in trouble with other YouTubers for my constant criticism of Heung-min Son. I thought today he actually had a good first half. I thought him and the front three looked lively first half without looking like they were going to score. And then second half, not as much. You were there, Barry. What was your overall opinion of the game? Good first half, poor second half, or just a bit lackluster?
Yeah, look, I think, 12 hours or just over 12 hours I've been from like leaving the house to getting back. This is another 24-hour stream, right?
Yeah.
Look, I think
you're only an hour in.
Yeah, only an hour in. Yeah. Look, I think, look, first half, I think like we spoke about it. I think I was at the services at the time. I think if we'd scored a goal in that first half, we go on and win that game. We didn't look, we were comfortable, we were in control. And look, Wolves changed up their system. They made early substitutions. They then started, going down very easily. Wasting time, going down when they're injured or not injured, and everything else. And it was just, we just weren't clever enough. When Mourinho said that we needed to be like, see you next Tuesdays, we also needed to be clever with it, and we weren't clever with it. The standout two players for me today was Oliver Skipp and Pedro Porro. Taking Porro off, not really sure what that was about, because we obviously needed to get a goal, and to be honest with you, his attacking threat was probably the only thing that, obviously, there's a couple of times he crossed it in, that free kick, which, you know, let's be honest, it was right on the edge of the area, and I was sat there going, I don't think it's going to get it up and down. It's going to be really hard to get it up and down, and he hits, pretty much the top of the post. And then Harry Kane, who, for all intents and purposes, the last time he scored a free kick was about 2001 or something.
Yeah.
Then takes the ball off him. Like, it was almost like, so the funniest thing was, it's almost like they'd had a word with Porro in the changing room and said, whoa, what are you doing, mate? Because what Porro did, right, and you probably won't see this, or you might see this on the highlights, or if you watched it live, Porro picks up, as soon as there's the free kick, Porro picks up the ball. Son comes over to him, he gets the ball, puts the ball, moves it around his back so Son can't grab the ball, and has basically said to Kane and Son, I'm taking this free kick. I'm showing what I'm made of. And it's almost like at half time, they had a word with him and said, they don't do this at Tottenham. And Ellie, if you're listening, Højbjerg has 5 good games and 1 bad game. Well, fuck me, he was the worst player on the pitch today.
Again.
He was awful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And against Sheffield United.
There was times where he was giving the ball away. It was like he transformed into Harry Winks. Every time he got the ball, he was passing it backwards and sideways. I was like, what am I watching here, man? What am I watching here?
Harry Winksberg.
Yeah, Harry Winksberg. So
I love that.
I think the only solution for Milan, because Perisic is absolutely done and finished. He is, as Alex would say, bang average. And I think bang average is being polite to him. I think the only thing that saves us in against Milan is Emerson plays left wing back, because we can't be any worse. He's certainly not worse.
He's slowly becoming our saviour, isn't he? In every position, Emerson Royale is the key to success.
But I feel sorry for the away fans. I feel, this result, whether you want to blame it, whoever you want to blame it on, the manager, whether that's Conte saying you need to do the subs at this time, or Stellini because he made the decisions, they're both. We talk about people being in the mud. They're both in the mud today, because that was absolutely shocking from both of them.
Barry, let me ask you, right? I mean, we touched upon this earlier, myself and Alex, in terms of the substitutions. You alluded to it there, that Wolves, as you said, I thought first half we dominated. The Wolves were proactive. Most managers seem to be really proactive, and then he made 2 substitutions at half time, and then he made 2 more in the 65th minute. Spurs didn't make their first substitution. I'm not teaching you to suck eggs, you were there, but till the 77th minute. We then made another one in the 81st minute, and in the 82nd minute, we're 1-0 down. And it almost feels to me, guys, that it's almost like it's written into Emerson Royal's contract that if he doesn't start, he must come on. Because Porro, for me, listen, don't get me wrong, there's a lot about Porro that I think is worrying me, but there's enough going forward that I think, okay, keep him in there. We lost that immediately. We lost that burst going forward because we put on the defensive player. Then Lucas Moura, how has he suddenly jumped the queue, Barry, above Richarlison and Dan Juma? What is he's leaving? What is going on?
He's obviously got some, I don't know. He's like Harry Maguire. He's got pictures of incriminating pictures of Conte, the manager, and he has to play him or he's going to leak them. I mean, we're all sat there, right, and we're going. You could see it. The worst thing was every fan could see what exactly was going to happen, right? And not only did that happen, we the atmosphere was building. Wolves were getting on top. We were giving them let's just keep having shots at our goal, because sooner or later Forster's going to make a mistake, which he did. He pushed it into the middle of the goal, and Mr. One goal a year comes on and puts it in. It was always going to be him, right? But we could all see that we were sat there and we were going, it's coming. This goal's coming for Wolves, and the moment that it comes, we're not going to be able to get back into this game. And if we can see it, and we're not we're not coaches, we're not trained, we're not professionals. If we could see it, I don't know how anyone on the bench can see it. But look, the referees and officials, and I know we had Chris on and Gav on yesterday. I wouldn't even send them down to the under-11s tomorrow afternoon, right? Jose Sarr was getting 10 to 15 yards on every offside or free kick, throwing the ball forward, linesman doing nothing. The referee was giving up, 50-50 balls where they'd be like, a shoulder barge, or they'd be like, he was blowing up at every opportunity. So Wolves were clever and they could see that. So look, I'm not saying he was on their side. And look, when he reviews it back, he'll probably sit and go, do you know what? I had a bit of a shocker today. But it didn't add. It was another thing where we're not clever enough as a football team to be able to be in a game and in a moment to say, this is what needs to happen. Clement Longley, oh my God! I mean, if we go and sign him, he was horrendous as well, giving the ball away, inviting pressure. Romero was okay. But again, he got sucked into this. Let's try and kick. They were being clever with their fouls. Romero, 92nd minute in the corner. Let me just come through someone when we need to get the ball up. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, mate, come on, man. Yeah, I know you want to do those tackles. We love those tackles, but I just think it was. Look, I just think it was another opportunity where we've just not been clever enough. And the substitutions. What the hell? There was a point where Max Kilman went down and we thought, they've made all their subs. I think they made all their subs by the 65th minute or whatever. They made all their subs and we were thinking, right, we need to run at him. Porro, Kulu, anyone, run at him. They start booting the ball over to Perisic on the left-hand side. This guy's gone down for like 5 minutes because he's probably done his hammy. And we're thinking, why are we not running at him? Maybe, I don't know, we should have a thing in the crowd where they come over and we're the ones passing notes to like Ryan Mason on the sideline. Here you go, mate. This is what you need to do. And Lucas Moura, he's leaving.
Like a suggestion box at half-time for what the fans would like to see change.
The away fans, oh my God, it was, I'm fed up. The comments were like, I'm fed up with this fucking football. Why do those players think they deserve to be clapped? They're shit. They're an embarrassment. And okay, these are the away fans that go in, week out, right? They're not the tourists that turn up at Tottenham Hotspur and spend 500 quid in the shop. These are the ones that are seeing these players, and it was just it was. I'm glad that it was a 3 o'clock kickoff. I mean, it's just past 10 o'clock and I've got in, but I can't imagine the fans going, we were looking at all the other away games. Everton away on a Monday night, Newcastle away on a Sunday, Liverpool away on a Sunday. Yeah. Those people are going to be getting like 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning and have to put up with that nonsense. I mean, it's just embarrassing.
Yeah. I mean, look, guys, it's embarrassing, but like we said, it's not unexpected, is it? Which is like somebody I did a video earlier where I was a bit like, I was like this. I was like, look, guys, it is what it is. And loads of people were messaging me going, you're not really Spurs. This hasn't hurt you enough. And I was like, all the hurt has gone. I've been hurt so many times by this club, Cooper, that you kind of knew, right?
Like I said, plan for it in advance. Yeah. Made myself some good comfort food, sat back with a nice movie. I've had a lovely day. I genuinely had a lovely day. All I had to do, the only thing that I had to take any gloss out of the day is taking my shot by looking at the 3-minute highlights of the Spurs game. Other than that, got it out of the way. It's just don't bother with it. It's not worth it. I respect my time more than watching this bullshit. Yeah, that's what it comes to. It's that sad. I don't want to watch my club. They're shit.
Yeah, it's getting tough, isn't it? I mean, Ben, look, you go to a lot of the games and stuff. Are more fans getting to the point where they're questioning paying to go and watch this? Because it's not a good watch, is it? We don't, as much as we were okay in the first half today, there's no parts of the game where I ever see fans going, oh, yeah, that was, nice one-touch grip. It's hard to watch, right?
Oh, it's very hard to watch, and especially at the highest season ticket prices in the world of football.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the last 2 games, every single fan that goes should be refunded. That's how bad they should, especially for the guys who went to the Sheffield game, me included. It's just unacceptable. They just don't perform ever. We've shown that we don't care. It's a non-cohesive football club again. It's going back to that.
Yeah.
I'm all right. So people say, "Oh, you're going to be fine with this boring football." I love Italian football because I've grown up on Italian football. Once in a while, I would like to watch a Simeone team and us kick the crap out of the other team, but it's not for everyone. Some people will be fed up with it. People like Kuva grew up on the 80s of us playing champagne football and Ozzy Ardiles playing 9 men up front. So most people are fed up with that. It's that bit between where we're fed up, but people have now forgotten the Tottenham way because the Tottenham way hasn't really existed since the 80s, has it?
God, yeah.
It hasn't existed. The only 2 managers we've had since the 80s that played decent football were Redknapp, when he had Modric and Van der Vaart in midfield, and Pochettino for 2 years. But last year of Poch was shocking as well. So
let me ask you then, Ben, in terms of, forget league position, because I think as fans we get so drawn up on, we're fourth anyway, we're fourth. Is the club any further forward now than the day Pochettino left? I'm not making this about Poch. I'm just using that as the milestone where we just finished being in the Champions League final. Is the club any further forward in academy, signings, pattern of play, ethos, fans' mood? Have we moved forward in the last 4.5 years?
No, we've gone backwards. Right. Because when we had Pochettino here, we had a plan. We had a director of football that was allowed to do his job in Paul Mitchell. And then suddenly we decided to take the reins away from him. And every director of football we've had since has not been allowed to do their job. Hence why we've got Jed Spence, Clement Longley, we've had Joe Rodons. We've not had a manager and a director of football who are on the same page.
Yeah.
And it's suffered. That a lot of people already saying, oh, bring back Pochettino. If you bring back Pochettino without Paul Mitchell, do you reckon it's going to be anything like this?
Right.
It's just going to be just as bad, if not worse. Because when we've got a man that we absolutely adore him, we all want him to do well, but he's going to fail harder than Conte is. Because Conte will be like, oh, he's going to leave. We're not invested in it. Ryan
Mason.
That is it.
Or you, SAVVA. It doesn't matter. It could be any of us. It doesn't really matter.
I'd be too attacking for Levy and Paratici. They wouldn't like my style of football. It'd be like Ozzy Ardiles 5-4 stuff.
Sorry, quickly on if Pochettino came back, who would need Paul Mitchell. It wouldn't matter if Paul Mitchell come back at this point. We've got 8 players out on loan. We can't shift.
Yeah.
We cannot afford to sign players now because of it.
Yeah. And again,
we're absolutely screwed. Horrendous mismanagement.
Joe Rodon. No manager wanted Joe Rodon. Who wanted Joe Rodon? I mean, even Rennes fans hate him.
Not even his parents want Joe Rodon, right?
He's so bad he can play for Wales.
The approach of being a control freak has failed because there's no plan. Oh, this year we need a centre back. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy a left winger who looks like a mop. Instead of buying a centre back, we're going to buy a central midfielder that we don't need. We desperately need to have a plan again. And the only way to do that is to get rid of every player at the football club, and that's including Kane and Son. Get rid of all of them.
And the other thing I forgot to add as a caveat was not only were we then bantering Arsenal because they were losing 2-0.
Yeah.
Right? Before Wolves scored, I said, I've got a really bad feeling about this. And they said, why? I said, Wolves are going to score and Arsenal are going to turn it around.
Oh, as soon as Arsenal went 2-0 down, as soon as Arsenal went 2-0 down,
Bournemouth scored too early. But I was just like, oh, for God's sake, could this day get any worse? And look, Brighton are now 7 points behind us with 3 games in hand, and they also have to play us.
Yep, they're going to beat us as well. They're going to beat us.
And also, Mark put a comment up about fans coming out the ground today was singing for Poch. I don't know where they were singing it, Mark, because I didn't hear any singing for Poch.
I've heard it though. I have heard it.
I heard it at the San Siro, but as a joke. But again, if you bring Poch in, you are sabotaging this guy's legacy because he's going to fail, and he's not going to fail just a little bit. It's going to be a disaster.
So are we saying then, Ben, it needs to be someone from within like Ryan Mason, right? Because I've got 2 schools of thought. One of me just thinks, fuck it. Yeah, just give it to Ryan Mason. The other part of me goes, God, yeah, but hasn't he been working with all these same people, with Paratici, isn't he just going to be the ultimate yes man?
I mean, that's what they like.
No, I know. I'm just. It's a mess, isn't it? Either way, it's a bloody mess.
I think with Mason, I genuinely believe the football will improve. It won't be more successful. It'll just be more on the eye. It's going to be more fun to watch.
I mean, yesterday we talked about bringing in two of Crystal Palace's centre backs. And we had loads of people in the chat going, oh, they're 12. What, you're idiots. You're in the mud. You got no football knowledge. Where do you think Tottenham would be if we didn't have Harry Kane?
Oh, God.
15th.
Yeah.
We would be 15th without Harry Kane. So you might as well bring them in. They concede less goals than Longley, Dyer and Davis. Bring them in. They might actually be
We'd be saying things like, if we can put a run together, we could overtake Chelsea by the end of the season.
Yeah, that's what we'd be saying. Because
but also, SAVVA, I finally worked out. You know, last night we spoke about what do the managers do when they walk into Levy's office. The players walk into Levy's office and they know everything. You know, they know everything, but then when they walk in, something happens. He's got one of those things out of Men in Black that they look into, right? That they then it raises their memory. So that's what it is. That's what I've suddenly realised. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Look how bored he is. He's being a Spurs fan. Absolutely bored out of his mind.
Yeah, he does look like he's been slamming his face against a brick wall for years.
Yeah.
Oh, poor little Stewie. Guys, just quickly, the league table. What we were saying there. Look, you could argue that we're 4th, and apparently that's all football fans care about these days. We've got a 4-point gap to Newcastle. We've got 2 games in hand, but don't seem capable of, excuse me, bless me, don't seem capable of winning games at the moment. Liverpool, we've now played Liverpool for as bad as Liverpool have been. And remember, Liverpool are gone. They've fallen off a cliff. They are now 2 wins away from overtaking us because they've got a better goal difference as well. And that starts with Man United tomorrow. So I wanted to bring this up, guys. Obviously, you've got Brighton in there as well.
Look, we've lost as many games as Chelsea, and they're in meltdown.
Right, but my point is this:
we've been in meltdown for about 10 years.
If you look at the Man U Liverpool game tomorrow, doesn't that become hugely significant for us now? Because let's assume it's not a draw, one of them either comes right up behind us, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or Man United, with 2 games in hand, fly well ahead of us. What's the lesser of the 2 evils here, guys?
Man United.
It would be better if it's a draw, isn't it? But I mean, if I'm really honest, SAVVA, I think that will it will just show you how bad it is at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, I don't care anymore, to be honest with you, SAVVA. You know what I mean? It's like when people say I'm not ambitious enough. Okay, so all those years when I was growing up and I had disappointment after Jerry Francie left and I had to deal with Christian Gross, deal with George Graham winning a trophy but doing nothing. Then Glenn Hoddle, Martin Yole, all these other managers, Ramos, Tim Sherwood, all the crap I've had to see as well. And since then, I've achieved more in my life, right, than watching Tottenham Hotspur. And that just shows you where my priorities is. You know what I mean? Because the saying is that you can do things for yourself and be successful, but you can't count on other people to make yourself successful as well. You know what I mean? So this is the thing. I have this nonsense, and Kuva speaks in absolute truth. And this is the thing. That's why we listen to Kuva, because he talks the facts, and that's it. At the end of the day, you know, it's not about chasing for the success and dreaming. It's about making yourself known and making yourself happen, bro. You know what I mean? And that's why Mr. Box Office will be successful every single time, whether he's on any other show or on his own YouTube channel. Because I'm not going to be talking about this anymore. I ain't reacting anymore. I'm going to talk about the good times and looking at what I can learn from being a Tottenham fan, and that's it. And that's what I do, and that's what I always do every single time. You know, and that's what it means by refreshing, reset, and restart. And that's it. And you need to learn. You need to learn, because you need to get to know that. And that's how it goes, and that's how it stays. And that's what you've got to learn from Dr. Tottenham, and that's it. And that's all I need to say. If you don't know, get to know. Let him have it, Savva, and that's it. I'm done.
Well, I would like to say that Kuva has absolutely zero clue about Kit Kats, though, so he doesn't always talk facts.
Just on that Chris Cowling video, I'm not sure the fans. So Chris Cowling put a video out that's entitled "Fans Want Pochettino Back." What it was a video of fans walking out from Wolves, because I've just watched it, 11 seconds singing "He's Magic, you know, Maurizio Pochettino." That doesn't say "We want Poch back." That just says they're singing a song. So I'm not saying you're wrong, Mark. I'm not like calling you out. I'm just saying let's be very careful about what people are saying. Let's not get all excited and say, "Oh my God, the fans were singing they want Poch back." If they were saying "We want Poch back, we want Poch back," then yes, I would agree. But they were just singing the Poch song. That was all they were singing. So,
do you think Poch is going to work with a aging Harry Kane and aging Son Heung-min and Kulusevski that doesn't press?
No, doesn't matter. Poch can't work with Paratici.
No, it doesn't work. But Kane's going to go anyway, regardless whether Kane's going anyway, because Kane will look at it and say, the thing is, though, the worry for me is, though, because I've heard some rumours, though, that, sorry to switch subject, but I do worry that they're going to wait, they're going to leave it till the end of the next season and may let him go on a free. I do worry about that. I really do worry about that. But I think Kane's going to have to push it, because, like I said before, he needs trophies. He needs trophies now. You know what I mean? He's proven that he's an individual that can do score the goals, and he makes us look good, but he's still a loser. I'm sorry, he's still a loser with no trophies, and that's where it lies. That's where the judgment is at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Because in those finals, when he was playing in those finals, he didn't turn up and make himself known and get us through those finals. Like the Drogbas, like the Ronaldos, like the Vardys, like the Tillemans. You know, these players help their teams get through those finals. And that's also, the Alex, question, and that's it.
Yeah, Alex, and also what you're saying about Pochettino, we got to the Champions League final. He had 89 minutes to do something in that final, right? To change something, to do something. He didn't do it either. In the press conferences to Manchester United, he sat there saying it was like we don't deserve, we should enjoy being there. So come on, I know we played great football, but don't let that muddy your views and think that Pochettino coming back is the answer, because it's not the answer.
No, I'm just saying my own. I'm just saying my own.
I'm not saying to you, Alex. I'm just saying in general the whole thing about Pochettino coming back, and all of us. If Pochettino comes back tomorrow, do we go and win 5-0 against AC Milan on Wednesday?
No,
of course we don't.
No,
of course we don't.
Listen, right?
I'm just saying that it's nostalgia over common sense wanting Poch back. right?
Yeah, but I'm not saying it. Let me just make myself clear there. I am not saying it on nostalgia. I'm
Hang
saying
on.
because I'm not saying it on nostalgia. I'm saying it on what I feel is best at the moment. Yeah, I'm not saying he's the answer. I'm saying he's the start of the process. Okay, because at the moment we have got no idea of free-flowing attacking managers at the moment. We're not like Brighton doing their research on attacking managers at the moment. I don't think they've got a plan. So for me, I think they need to do that. So the initial stages, or if they have a plan, or someone like a what is it, the Argentinian Argentinian guy. I think it's Guardiola or something like that. I think it's Guardiola. I've got his name. If you're thinking about him, great, okay, cool. But what's your plan with him? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying at the moment, because
also,
we need a plan.
And also, Alex, when you're talking about it, if you really want to go back to how Poch had his team, please tell me any of the players now, and you can sit there and the way that they're playing now, no Son, no Kane on form, get into any above any of those players that were in that Poch team. Dyer, Longley against Alderweireld and Vertonghen. I mean, it's not even a competition. Emerson and Porro against Kyle Walker, not even a competition.
Oh, come on.
Højbjerg,
Super Royal
against Dembele and Eriksson. And I mean, what are we even? This is like madness.
Yeah.
That people sit there and think that this is the solution. Honestly, guys,
Those players need to go though. Those players need to go. If
we're not going to get rid of them. We're not going to get rid of them because they're leaving mates.
Well, unfortunately, that's relegate. They're going to be ending up being relegated or mid-table with those players. I'm sorry.
Here's the other way of spinning it, though, Nick. Do you think we're going to actually turn things around if Conte stays?
No, I think. Look, you know me. I'm the most positive. Danny will call me deluded. He'll say I'm this, I'm that. But I try, like, even today, like before the game, I was like, oh, this team is going to smash them like 4-0. Part of me was joking. Part of me was hoping, right? And it's the hope that kills you, because it doesn't matter who comes in with this bunch of players, we are going to be, if we're lucky, a top 6 club in the next 5 years. And it doesn't matter who comes in. It doesn't matter who's there. The only play people say about Poch coming back, that's a Levy play to keep people happy. Yeah, that's the only play that he's got left in his armour.
I'll just think. Yeah, I agree. It does. I agree. It doesn't matter what manager comes in terms of success. I'm just desperate for somebody that comes in that actually wants us to play football. I think we can at least manage that. We've got enough players to do that. I think what I've been watching the last couple of years has just been absolutely. It's football to slit your wrists by. Listen to a bit of Marla in the background, paint your room grey and just fade away. It's absolutely pathetic. I'm done with it.
Do you know what?
Nick hit the nail on the head. If Poch comes back in, it is a total Levy move. Levy is getting fans to want us to do Levy things.
Yeah,
he's now got us by the. We're now asking for Levy to do Levy.
He did this with Conte. This is what I've maintained the whole time. Antonio Conte was never a fit for Tottenham. Antonio Conte was was one to take all of the pressure off of Daniel Levy and the owners. It was, here, fans, look what I've given you. Yeah, and fans went, oh, we've got a winner. Not thinking that we need 11 new players, but we've got the winner. And he'll do the same with Poch. I know he will. But what I don't get about any of this, guys, is forget whether we like the system or not. It's the number of times when we're losing. And I know, like, Kuva and I spoke about this yesterday, and he told me, the Liverpool game this happened. But the number of games where we don't go for it. We don't throw the kitchen sink in the last 20 minutes. Chuck a centre-half up front. Bring on all your forwards and let's just pin in their half. And, like, even today, I watched Leicester-Southampton, right? And Leicester to be fair to them, they were losing for ages. For the last 20 minutes, Leicester camped themselves in Southampton's half. Long balls, crosses in, trying to worm them. They didn't get the goal, but they hit the bar. They had shots. The keeper made saves. We just seemed to go, oh, okay, we're losing. Let's just keep playing 3-4-3. We'll take the wing back off, put a wing back on. You know, it's centre back for centre back. We never seem to go for it. It's like if we can't win with this way, we don't try any other way. And that really frustrates me as a fan, guys. Really frustrates me.
Yeah, and I agree, Sav. And do you know what? The thing that this just will wind me up more than anything else is we'll go and beat Milan on Wednesday night, and then it'll be like, oh, that's it. We're fine again, and then we'll go and like you were going win lose win lose. We'll go and beat Forest, and then you look at the games on paper. The next 5 games, they're all winnable, but actually the away games are not winnable because we can't win away from home, and we can't. It's just, you look at the games that we've lost. Okay, Arsenal, Man United, you put them to kind of one side, but the rest of them, have we really been that? Should we really be losing those? No.
But that's the idea of though who I would have as manager. Though, speaking of that, there's only one man I'd have. Does anyone want to guess it? It's a very left field option.
Mike Bassett.
No,
hang on.
Yes. It's a manager of a big-ish club. He's had his entire team gutted off of him, but he built a really good team that was playing some superb football. He's not managing in England, is the clue. Who I would think would be a decent manager for us.
Mr. Blobby?
No.
Give me the league. Give me the league.
Eredivisie.
Oh, are you talking about the PSV manager?
I am. Ruud van Nistelrooy. Would be a decent manager for Tottenham.
Why not? Let's give it a go, eh?
Give it a go.
Look, at the end of the day, if we need someone to go up front, I'm sure he can still do a good job.
Yeah, put Ruud van Nistelrooy up front.
Oh, I'll bring him on ahead of Lucas Moura, that's for certain.
Hell yeah, I'll put him on.
Do you know what I want to stop hearing from people, right? I keep hearing that, first of all, it's if we change manager. Let's stop talking about if. Yeah. This is going to happen, his contract, right? But what I keep hearing is no manager will be successful with these players. Guys, I don't know about you. My mind is so far away from winning things right now, it's unreal, right? My brain isn't even thinking which manager do we bring in to win. My mind is which manager do we bring in that can work with cheaper players, like Conte said, younger players with smaller salaries. Who is that? That's where my mind is at. So we've got to stop talking about this winning stuff, haven't we?
Bring in Mike Bassett.
No, we can't stop winning.
Yeah.
We'll
never win again.
The only thing I've got left on my deluded happy clapper predictions is we're going to win. We're going to win the Champions League.
We're not. Tottenham will never win a trophy under this ownership. We will never win a trophy.
I think Kuva's right. I was sat there, right, and I was debating getting on a 36-hour coach to go to Madrid to watch the Champions League final. And I was thinking, this is probably the only time in my lifetime that I'm ever going to witness Tottenham in the Champions League final.
And
I didn't go. I mean, I don't regret not going, but I do regret to say, look, I've been to a Champions League final. Yeah. Do we get a trophy for that?
We are a small club and we have to accept it. We are a small club. I was saying this when we were in Sheffield to people in the pub, and everyone's saying, oh, you're talking nonsense. We are a big club. Do big clubs act like this? Do big clubs allow rot to stay there for 10 years? Do big clubs allow their manager to not buy their own players?
And also, Ben, we need to stop this nonsense about Arsenal not winning the league because
they are winning the league.
Because after today, today was a real big kick in the teeth. And I know, again, I was sitting there and saying they've got a tough April. April may be, it might not even matter, because if Man City continue to do what they do, it's now ifs, buts, and maybes. We're going into what, 13 games left. Soon it's going to be less than 10. And unless they lose to Man City, I mean, if they get a result against Man City, it's done. But they're not
going to win the league. They are so inconsistent. There's only one other team that could possibly challenge Arsenal. It's Man United, because they're putting together. They're getting better. They're getting better and better.
Now you're going to see. Now you're going to see with the league. And I know we talk about points being everything and what have you, but Newcastle have got games in hand. That we could have gone clear of them, and that couldn't have been a conversation. Now, Liverpool, Liverpool, Newcastle, Brighton, even Brentford to some extent. We could go. This could be free fall between now and the end of the season. It really, really could.
But this gives us ammunition, doesn't it? To say the club's not being run properly. Change.
It's not being run properly for 20 plus years.
years.
What's another year?
Yeah, I think the difficulty is, I say the difficulty, I think we actually still should get fourth, purely based on the fact that nobody can seem to put a run of games together. Yeah. So when you actually look at, like, for example, Liverpool's fixtures, and I do need to finish up in about 5 minutes, guys.
Yeah.
Liverpool's fixtures. 1 second.
I think that's probably the only thing that we're hanging on to something, right? It's because all the other fixtures they play each other and they've got some tough games. Otherwise, if they didn't, if Liverpool had the next 5 games like we have the next 5 games, we'll probably be thinking something completely different, right?
Liverpool's last 5 is better than ours, but Liverpool's next 5, tomorrow against Man United at Anfield, Bournemouth away, Man City away, Chelsea away, Arsenal at home.
Wow. Okay.
So they've got, look, I think if they get top 4 from that position, fair play to them.
Yeah.
Hand up. But I think we should still get fourth, because as you've seen, we are win-win, lose-lose, win-win, lose-lose. And everyone else seems to be doing the same thing. So I think we could still get fourth, but I'm not going to celebrate it.
I almost hope we don't. Because if we get fourth, it's like, oh, great season, top 4's our everything. Yeah. Trophy.
Oh, Champions League again. What are we going to do in Champions League? Fuck all again.
That would be paper over the cracks.
I actually want 5th, because at least next season, without knowing what the hell we're going to have in terms of manager or recruitment over the summer, Europa League has to surely be a target that's achievable for the club.
Do you think
Champions League isn't?
That would mean, if we're going on win-win, lose-lose, and that means we're going to have like 63 points. That'd be the lowest ever, right, for finishing 4th to get in the top 4. Yeah. 63 points.
Competition on who wants it the least this season.
That's not even 2 points. That's not even 2 points a game average.
Yeah.
But it was the same last season for the top 4 race. It was literally who doesn't want it the most. Remember, it was like at one point it was Man U, West Ham, Spurs, and Arsenal, but West Ham and Man U dropped away spectacularly, and then then Arsenal messed up, didn't they, at Newcastle? Remember, but guys, listen, I do need to wrap up the show. I can't believe we've been going for nearly 2 hours already. I need to go and give myself a 12-hour sleep. Guys, much love. You're all more than welcome tomorrow night for the Spurs review at 7 p.m. And Barry, thank you very much. Kuva, thank you very much. Ben, thank you. Everyone in the chat, thank you very much. Please, guys, I am 11 subscribers away from 3,500. 11 people out of the 374.
I'll just set up 10. I'll just set up 10 accounts, and then we'll be all right.
All right, cheers, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate. No, I just need one more person.
Some neighbours. Yeah.
So listen, much love. See you all later. We'll be back for the Spurs review tomorrow at 7 p.m. And we'll take it from there. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.
Ciao.